Hi, I'm Kasey Corsello. Welcome to my home. I'm here to show you how easy it is to make cinnamon rolls. I have a very easy, quick yeast dough recipe, and I have my assistant, who's my son Cristiano here. He's gonna help me, and we're gonna show you how easy it is. So first, Cristiano, I need your help. You're gonna take 1 cup of water, and what we're doing is proofing the yeast, and this is how it makes it very quick. So you proof the yeast by adding, you have 1 cup of water, right? You're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of yeast, and then you're gonna add a tablespoon of sugar, which yeast really likes sugar. So this gets the yeast going. And we need 2 tablespoons of oil. I have olive oil here. You can use any kind of oil, canola oil, coconut oil. Thank you. Give it a little stir, and we're gonna let that sit for 5 minutes. Okay, perfect. Okay, great job. So we'll leave that right over here. While the yeast is proofing, we're gonna mix 2 cups of flour. I have unbleached all-purpose flour. You can use, you can mix some whole wheat flour. You can use whatever brand you want, organic flour. It's totally up to you. And we're gonna mix in 1 teaspoon of salt. I have kosher salt here. Regular table salt is fine too. Okay, and Cristiano's gonna give it a stir for us. Okay, can you put this in here? Can you dump this in here for us? Oh, thanks, buddy. So I'll just put a little bit more here, and it's easy. No need to be perfect here. It's just really about the taste, right? Okay, so now we're gonna take this, and we're gonna put into I have a KitchenAid mixer, or any standing mixer that you have with a dough hook. So we're gonna attach the dough hook here. And I put it on number 2, and you just slowly mix in your yeast mixture. I kind of go in and scrape the sides. And you wanna do this for about 4 to 5 minutes. So the dough will come together and it'll form like an elasticy dough, and that's okay. So this is needed for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so now the dough is mixed. So I'm gonna take the dough, and you wanna cover it. So I have a lid, but you can cover it with saran wrap, or if you have parchment paper, you can just lay it flat over. And this oven is preheated at 200, so it also helps proof the yeast. So you're gonna put it in the oven for 10 minutes, and then it will help the dough to rise. And now it's not gonna be like a normal rise, but it will work really well. Okay, so after 10 minutes, you're gonna take your dough out of the oven, and it's risen a little bit. And so what I need help from my assistant here is to flour the surface, because we're gonna roll out the dough here. So we just need a little bit of flour, right? And then can you help me spread it around? So you spread it all over. This is where the fun part is, right, Bubba? Right, Cristiano? Okay, and then you can kind of flour your hands and take the dough out, because it gets to be a little bit sticky.
Is it warm?
It's not too warm, but it's sticky. It's a little bit sticky. Okay, so we're gonna roll it out a little bit. Right, okay.
I'm ready. I'll show you.
Okay, awesome. How does that feel? Does it feel sticky?
Sticky.
So then you're gonna make sure that you have a really nicely floured surface here. And it's ready, you can roll it out. So I'm gonna take my rolling pin here, and I'm just gonna roll it into a rectangle. And this dough can be also used to make bread or pizza. it's pretty versatile. So you have it into about a rectangle shape like this. And so next I'm going to melt some butter. I have 2 tablespoons of butter that I'm going to melt in the microwave. And so while we wait for that, I'm going to get my sugar out. Okay. And before we do this, actually, I'm going to take my pan. I have a 9-inch spring-form pan, and I'm going to butter the bottom pan, and then I'm going to put some parchment paper on the bottom so that it just kind of comes up pretty easy. Or you could use wax paper too, or any kind of baking paper that you have. And you just stick it in the bottom, and the pan is all ready. Okay. So now we have our butter that's melted. So what we're going to do with the butter is we're going to take a spoon and you just stir it up so that it's all melted, right? And then we're going to drizzle it over the dough. So the butter is good because it helps the sugar and the cinnamon stick. Okay, good job. Now, I need you to take, we need another spoon, and we're going to sprinkle some sugar. I use about 4 tablespoons. But I mean, you don't have to use that much. It's really up to you, and you can use, if you want to use pure cane sugar, you can. If you want to use coconut palm sugar, you can. It's up to you. Whatever you have in your kitchen. And now for the fun part, the cinnamon. Fun part. Okay, can you sprinkle? Okay, there, good. Yep. And you can put however much cinnamon you want. If you like a lot of cinnamon, you can put a lot of cinnamon on there.
Or 100.
We're gonna roll it up.
Yep. Roll it. I'll roll it for you.
So we're gonna roll it, right? And sometimes it's a little sticky, so you just kind of take your finger and
I'll do it.
you do it? You do that part? Okay, good. Okay, good. See? There we go. And what does it look like? Looks like a long snake, doesn't it? Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut it into pieces with a knife. And we're not going for perfection. We're perfectly imperfect here because cooking is not about being perfect.
And cinnamon is spicy.
And cinnamon is spicy. And cinnamon is delicious. And this is something that you can whip up pretty easily. And I love it because I can control what I put into my food. And it's also comfort food. Cinnamon rolls are comfort. And it doesn't matter what you look like either because I'm getting nice and messy here. Good job. So you kind of layer it in the pan.
Cinnamon roll.
Yep, around the edge. And you don't want them to go too close.
Last time I ate a cinnamon roll like this, and I got a cinnamon roll stomach.
You got a cinnamon roll stomach. So it's about 1.5 inches that the length. And you want to space them out. So we want them a little more spaced so that they can rise when they're in the oven. And this is something that Cristiano and I do quite often.
Vibrating.
You're vibrating. And it's good to pass the time, right? And so these, you kind of spread them out around the edge, and then I put them in the middle.
Here.
And then they're going to go back in the oven
Can't hold it that much.
to rise.
Here.
Okay. So now we're gonna put them back into the oven at 200 because we want them to rise for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So plop them back in, and then you're gonna let them rise before you bake them. So on our cinnamon rolls, we like to do a glaze, and that is simply powdered sugar and a little bit of milk. You can do a buttercream frosting, you can do a cream cheese frosting, and you can find that in your recipe book or you can find it online. I did 3 heaping tablespoons of powdered sugar, and I'm going to ask Cristiano to help me with a little bit of milk, maybe a tablespoon. So this is our glaze. And while you make the glaze, the cinnamon rolls have risen, and you want to take them out and then preheat your oven to 350. And so while we wait for that to preheat, I'm going to make the glaze. And it's just it's just a little bit of milk and powdered sugar. Yeah, this is like a frosting glaze. So it's really sweet. And we're going to drizzle it over the
cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, we're going to drizzle it over the cinnamon rolls when they come out of the oven. See? It kind of has this consistency. Okay, so now when your cinnamon rolls are out of the oven, we're going to glaze them. And so you just run the glaze over the cinnamon rolls. Just to your taste. If you don't want that much, you don't have to put that much, or if some people like a lot of glaze, really sweet. Okay, and that's it. And here are your cinnamon rolls. I'm Kasey Corsello, and thank you for spending some time with me cooking cinnamon rolls. And I love to bake, and I'm glad that you got to see how easy it is to bake cinnamon rolls. And you can even do it with your 3-year-olds. So thanks for joining us. Bye.